Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Big news today, of course, Michael Thomas is done for the season. You see that, what's your reaction?
Surprised, but I guess the way this past year has gone in the Michael Thomas drama, I'm not surprised. I think it's unfortunate because this whole thing could have probably been prevented had he returned calls from the organization throughout the spring, which caused a little bit of a rift between them. And then obviously when you elect to get surgery right before the season, there's probably a bigger divide in between you and the organization. But from all accounts, they were excited about getting Michael back. I'm not sure what the setback was, but this whole thing could have been prevented because this setback would have happened in June, and he could have been coming back right now.
Yeah. It's interesting you brought that up, Scott, because there was a decidedly different tone from Sean Payton. And I'll ask you this question. You played for him. You know him. When Michael Thomas's first, I guess, when he had to have the surgery, Sean Payton was not pleased. And it was obvious listening to him. Today, it was a much more supportive tone of Michael Thomas. Do you read anything into that?
Well, anytime you feel like Coach Payton's tone is going supportive, you're lucky, because he could have gone drastically with a different tone, especially after everything that's gone on. But I think maybe that tone is because he's seen Michael working. He knows his intent was to come back. He knows his intent was to come back and help them try to win football games. Because right now, sitting on the outside looking in without seeing Michael's work ethic, you're thinking, well, it's just another Michael Thomas drama episode, whether it was last year getting into fights with Chauncey or not playing or being mad at the organization for being suspended for a game. So on the outside looking in, you think it's just another drama episode of Michael, whereas maybe Coach Payton's tone is saying, no, this guy's been working hard. His intent was to come back. We need to be patient with him because he does want to play.
You know, there is this other lingering conversation out there that the organization apparently kicked the tires on a trade with Odell Beckham. And now it looks like Cleveland might be on the outs with Odell, or Odell might be on the outs with Cleveland. I'm going to ask you a hypothetical, which is the beauty of this medium where we can discuss hypotheticals. If Cleveland decides to cut Odell Beckham, should the Saints try to sign him?
Under normal circumstances, I would say no, but I think these circumstances are different. I think you need a playmaker. I think you need somebody on the perimeter. I think they just need help at wide receiver position. And it's going to be up to Odell Beckham. He's going to have suitors. If they cut him, the Packers, the Rams seem to be able to sign everybody under the sun. You're going to have suitors going after Odell. And if I look at it from Odell Beckham's situation. Do I want to go to New Orleans? Yes, it's home, but I'm going to be playing with Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian, or I go play with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be an easy decision for him if he has other suitors.
He would go to a contender, even if he had the opportunity to play in his hometown and play for a coach like Sean Payton in this offense, where he knows. The counter to the Green Bay issue is Devontae Adams is there. You come to New Orleans, you're the unquestioned number one.
Yeah, you're the unquestioned number one. And then you would think if the Saints go and sign Odell Beckham, they're saying you are our number one, and that's probably not so good of a sign for Michael Thomas going forward.
Yeah.
So I think if they go out and sign Odell, I think Odell's you're going to be your number one receiver for the next couple of years.
Scott Shanle is our guest. All right, let's take it to the present, where with what we know instead of less of the the speculative aspect, and that's that Jameis Winston is done for the year, and Sean Payton has said he's not interested in looking outside of the organization for a quarterback. If I asked you moving forward, who would you like to see as this team's starting quarterback, Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian, which way would you go?
Well, do you have any other options?
No? Ian Book, but no. Well, let me ask you, Cam Newton, Phillip Rivers. Those are the other ones that have been sort of bandied about that would at least be guys who had starting experience, high-level starting experience.
Yeah. I think I've made it be known that I thought Jameis was the better quarterback, and I wanted him to get the job over Taysom because I don't believe Taysom is an NFL quarterback. But I think if you're going to go with these two guys, you're going to see a lot more Taysom at quarterback. Maybe he's just more comfortable with the offense since he's been here a lot longer. That could be one reason. Maybe he can get in and out of plays at the line of scrimmage. But, this defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense. And I think offensively, you can't win the way they played every week, especially come playoff time with dinking and dunking and trying not to have quarterback turn the ball over. He's got to make plays. So to answer your question, I'm good with Phillip Rivers to play a half a season. The hard thing for Phillip is learning in a whole new offense, and Sean's offense is not easy. My answer, and I don't know if people want to hear this, I would go beg Drew Brees to come back for half a season. The guy knows the offense. He's stayed in shape. He missed all of training camp. His body should be rested and ready. I think he gives you your best chance to win.
So Drew Brees was asked that on Football Night in America, and he said, "I'll be at Notre Dame Navy on Saturday, and I'll be here," meaning Football Night in America on Sunday. I mean, Scott, is it even realistic to go knock on Drew Brees' door and ask him to come back?
I think it's very realistic. In fact, I was watching Drew when he was up there with Dungy and Tirico talking on the stage, trying to see how many times he was checking his phone, because if I'm Coach Payton and Mickey Loomis, I'm blowing that dude up as soon as that game's over last week against Tampa Bay, because I think he can play well enough. I know everybody's going to say, well, he can't throw a deep ball and he started to age. The guy was completing 70% of his balls. And if he can do that in this offense with his timing and rhythm, because Jameis, yes, he may be a better quarterback right now. He can throw farther, but even Jameis didn't look great in the offense or comfortable, and that timing just wasn't there with him.
Man, it's fascinating. I did want to go, I'm glad you brought that up, because I did want to go at least this direction with you, which is, you played on some great defenses, on a championship defense. This Saints defense is a championship caliber defense. No one would even dispute that. What's it like for those guys right now, playing at the level they are, but knowing the offense just is incapable of being a championship offense?
Well, maybe they feel like some of the Drew Brees offenses when we had bad defenses, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that's the flip side of that. I think it can be frustrating, but I think there's a ton of confidence on that side of the ball that they believe if our offense can score 17 or 20 points, that we should win the games we're playing in, because they're that good. And I think that defense has those type of goals set. Just go out there, don't turn the ball over offense, control the clock. We're going to do our thing over here, and we're going to try to keep offenses under 20. If you can do that, you're good enough to win with Coach Payton calling plays and trying to manipulate defenses. It's just, like I said earlier, it's hard to do once you get in the playoffs and you're playing great quarterbacks. To expect our defense to hold everybody in the teens, that's just really hard to do, and that's why you got to find some productivity on the offensive side of the ball, on the outside at the wide receiver position. So,
Scott, when you look at this team then, let's assume they are whole. This is kind of what I said earlier in the show. Let's assume they're whole. They are a quarterback what they're going to be. They're not going to add a big play receiver. Let's assume they are whole right now. What is possible for this team?
Well, I love their schedule, first and foremost. Going forward, I think the schedule sets up pretty good. Now, the Bills, you're going to play the Bills on a Thursday. You're going to play the Cowboys on a Thursday. Those are two really good teams. You're going to play Tampa Bay again. To me, those are the three games where we are going to know what to expect out of this team come the playoffs, because just don't stub your toe against the teams you're supposed to be. The Eagles, the Falcons, those type of teams. Don't stub your toe against those teams, and then get into those other three battles, and those are toss-up games. We'll know how far this team can go in the playoffs. As long as this defense plays this way, you have Sean Payton calling plays, you have Alvin Kamara, and this offensive line, I should mention them. If they play the way they're capable, this team can beat anybody. It's just going to be hard without the passing game.
Scott Shanle, former Saint linebacker. It is going to be certainly not lacking for storylines and intrigue down the stretch here. We always appreciate a couple of minutes. We'll be in touch. Thanks for the time. As always, have a great rest of your week, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.